Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. That's Pete. That's Matt. Welcome to Talking Habs, and where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. And it was the final game of the season, and it's the final post-game show of the season. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a few different things and hopefully have some fun. Let's use here, and we're going to get right into it, because why wait?
Cheers,
Guru's back. Welcome back, Guru. Thanks for being here. Got the Crown and Coke flowing.
Get rid of the Crown
joined
and Coke.
us. So, anyways, if you're here in the chat, excuse me, my nose is itchy. What timing? Talk to us here in the chat. We're going to talk about. Here's the subject we're going to cover. Who's the final game for? Fill in the blank. Who will be a Habs rookie? Who will be a Habs rookie next season? We're going to talk a little bit about an interview that Pete and I are going to be doing this Thursday, and
so glad I won't be there.
Just kind of talk about the summer schedule and what I'm planning, I guess, for the summer. And I mentioned there's. I hope to organize a summer meetup. So that's it. If you got anything else you guys want to talk about, we'll add it in. And we'll go from there. Lucas says, bye-bye, Bruins. So let's start off with that. Final game for who?
Bruins for sure.
Yeah, Bruins for sure. I mean, that's a given, right? I think that's a given for everybody, right? That Bruins. Well, not everybody. There's some people think that I don't know how they think it's going to get signed, right? But it's a given. Bruins gone. It's a given. Paul Byron's gone because he didn't play and his contract's up. So there's that one. I think it's a given. Monahan is gone. What say you?
Yeah, I think so. And that sucks because I love Monahan and when he played, he did look pretty good. It's the injuries.
Yeah, I hate to see him go. There's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of skill there, but just the inability to stay healthy. That's huge.
Yeah.
He's got to have another surgery, I think, right? From what I heard.
On his foot, though, I think. But on his foot, not his hip. It wasn't his hip. It was his ankle or something. So I don't know. But, I don't see them signing him. Again, I really don't.
Not just for a veteran min, but yeah, I don't see it. I think they need the money to spend it elsewhere.
Yeah. By the way, guys, we couldn't stay and watch all the stuff happening on the ice because we got this show here going. But yeah, we saw what they were doing, and that price was there for the team photo. It was for the photo. He's still a member of the team.
Yep.
I think this could have been Edmondson's last game.
I think so too. I think Edmondson.
And as much as I love the guy, and I do, I really do love that guy, but I think this is probably his last name.
If they can find a partner for a deal, I think Edmondson will also have played his last game. You think Hoffman? You think they can find a way to move Hoffman with a season left on his deal?
It's possible. I think so. Because I think you need. I think Farrell's going to be on the team to start the season next year. You're going to need room for him. Obviously, guys are going to be healthy. So you need roster spots.
But you can't move him.
I don't see why Farrell comes out of the lineup.
Well, you can't move him. You gotta play. You're not going to pay him to sit.
He'd have to play. But that's what I mean. I think he's another prime candidate to be moved if the deal is right.
Pete, you look itching to say something.
No, I'm just listening at the moment. I'll just keep listening.
Okay.
Well, I think it could have been. I think it could be Dvorak. Dvorak could be gone. And the reason I say that, and you're gonna get at me for saying this, but if for whatever reason they swing a trade and get Pierre-Luc Dubois, and I'm not saying that they will.
I was going to say the same thing.
He goes in that trade, and Kent Hughes did say he is open to moving Florida's pick in a hockey type of trade like that.
Yeah.
Like he did for Kirby Dach. So, I think that's a possibility. If that type of trade happens, I think Dvorak goes the other way.
Well, yeah, they bring
I think it is possible that we could have seen the end. We could have seen the end of Dvorak.
Yeah, well, if they bring in an upgrade on Dvorak and they bring him in, then they got to move Dvorak because they can't. They won't be able to have both.
Plus, if Josh Waugh makes a team out of camp, he's going to need a center spot.
True. But I think you're right. Depending on the center situation, yeah. If they add Dvorak, will be the guy that goes. Yeah. Lucas asked, "Could you see Allen moving or still keeping him around with Monty?"
I think that's tough. I think Primo still needs another year in Laval. I'm not sold on him yet.
Yeah.
What could happen? I'm not going to say it's likely, but what could happen is, they could split the games in Laval between Dobis and Primo. And, I mean, who knows? If Dobis has a really good showing, I mean, they might say, hey, listen. Maybe they bring him up. Maybe not yet, but they might bring him up for a cup of coffee. And, I mean, if he performs.
No, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if Monty goes to the World Championships and does well, right, and they go, you know what, we got a starter there, we got a starting goalie in Monty, and then there's a deal out there for Allen. I can see them moving Allen and then bringing in a guy to back up Monty next season.
I could see that, yeah.
So Allen could be a guy that moves, and I think Allen knows that too. He's kind of said it. I think Allen could be a guy that moves. Like if Monty has a really good showing at the World Championships, I could see Montreal saying that, yeah, we're sold on Monty. We're gonna give show him the confidence,
especially after this season that he had. And I mentioned this early, I think a couple weeks ago on either Hockey Talk or something. But the way that I watch kind of Montembeault progressing is the same way I kind of watch Suzuki progressing, where like each year I notice something that he's gotten better on and that he's improved on, right?
Yeah,
and so I can kind of almost see Montembeault on that same type of trajectory where, okay, this season he made changes to these couple of things and he's gotten better. Next season maybe he makes changes to another couple of things. And we'll see how that goes.
Well, for sure he's going to. He's going to him. I mean, he's hitting his prime. I would think his best years are ahead of him.
Mm-hmm. I think his positioning was better.
Pitr quiet.
I thought his reflexes were a little bit better, a little bit more quicker to read the puck.
Yeah, his tracking of the puck was good, and his positioning was better this year, without a doubt.
Like I said, I think he'll take a couple other things. He'll work on that in the off season, and we'll see where it goes. But I see Montembeault just getting better. And I hope that's the case, because I think Montembeault would be a really good either like a 1A or 1B, if they decide once we're out of this rebuild, if they want to go that route. Or, who knows? Maybe he evolves into something even better. I mean, who knows? But I think Montembeault's here to stay, and anyone who says otherwise, I just don't think he's watched him close enough.
I agree. I had a thought and lost it, so I don't know what.
Good, because now you both can shut up.
Well, I was waiting for him to shut up so I can get my thought in, and my thought left. Go ahead, Pete. You can quiet.
Monty doesn't need the world championships to prove himself. He's done it this season, so he's a lock for 1A. I agree with what Matt was saying. I think Allen is a viable trade block item now, along with Hoffman, Dvorak, and a few others. It's going to be interesting to see what rolls down the pipe here, and I look forward to this offseason because I think Hughes and Gordon are going to make some moves that are going to totally floor us. And
I think so. It wouldn't shock me at all.
I got a funny feeling with Anderson. He's a player that will be in demand by a lot of teams because they know what he brings. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's a package deal somewhere along the lines for some draft picks and whatnot. If you take Anderson, you have to take so-and-so and so-and-so. We'll give it to you. We'll take a couple of shitty draft picks from you, and we're done with it. Just to clear up the room so that I got 10 players on my list that need space. We need to get rid of people, and I think they're going to do it.
Well, we need to get rid of money. I mean, that's the big thing, right?
Well,
I mean, we need to free up money.
Yeah,
we need
contracts.
To free up roster spots.
Yeah,
roster spots too.
The veterans that don't need to be here, they got to make room for the younger guys.
So they're gonna do some stuff that we probably as as fans have never seen before. So they're going to work some magic. I have complete faith in this. So we can speculate all you want. The speculation is fun right now. This is going to be exciting for the next couple of months of all the opportunities that can come our way. But at the end of the day, when paper comes to pen, it's going to be what Gorton and Hughes decide to do. And I'm excited because in my mind,
and I trust them to do the right thing. I mean, look, I think all the moves they've made so far, the way that they carry themselves in their press conferences, the way that they speak, even Gorton's like his track record with the Rangers and the Bruins. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to build these teams.
Precisely. So
I trust him to make the right move.
Deal to take Anderson, get rid of Anderson, and not to say get rid of Anderson because I adore Anderson, but we trade Anderson, get rid of Hoffman, and maybe a draft pick or something, and sign PLD, who is much younger, and because you got to remember Anderson's 28, 29, going on 30, somewhere around there. He's
29.
I mean, he still has a bunch of years. I mean, I still think he has good years left.
He does,
but it's his streakiness. I think that
the pros and cons. How much time does he spend on the bench, and how much time does he spend on the injury bench? And they're going to weigh that. They're going to be like, he's injury prone or what have you, right? So they're going to be like, PLD, he's not. Let's go get him. Let's sign him in the offseason. Bring him in here. Now we got to get rid of Ando.
Well, I don't think they are going to get rid of Anderson. Anderson managed 69 games. It's not that bad.
No, I think Anderson will stick around. I mean, unless they're blown away by an offer. You know what I mean? Like, unless they're absolutely, totally blown away by an offer, I think he does stick around.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. I think he is trade bait, kind of like you have clickbait. He's trade bait where you can unload some of those other guys that you want to unload.
I don't know. They weren't able to do it at the deadline, or they didn't want to.
They didn't want to.
Well, he also carries a $5 million cap hit. You got to remember that too. I mean, you got to find a team that's willing to take that money.
Bingo. There's your problem, right? 3 years left on his contract. Yeah, that's a problem. So I don't know. I think Andy sticks around. A guy that I think won't be here next year probably is Chris Weidman. Now it's not a contract that's a big one, but you think Weidman sticks around or?
No, we need room for the young. We need room.
That's right. There's no. I don't. I think there's no room.
Where's the spot? Ready? So here, these would be, in my mind, these are who I think the 6 defensemen will be to start the season, or should be. Matheson, Gooley, Arbor, Paris, Barron, and then you could maybe throw Kovacevic as the 6th guy.
Yeah, but Weidman's not a top 6 anyways. He's basically.
Can you repeat those for me, Matt? You kind of broke up a little bit there.
Matheson, Gooley, and these aren't the pairing. I'm just saying, like, these are just the guys that should be the decor. Matheson, Gooley, Arbor, Jordan Harris, Justin Barron, and the hell I'd pair with Justin Barron. I think Kovacevic's probably your 6th defenseman.
I didn't hear Savard. Did I?
Oh no! Well, I mean, Savard could find himself on the way out too. I mean,
I don't think so.
So you could put Savard in there, but like, I just don't think there's a spot for Chris Weidman.
No, there's not,
and especially the year after next, when Hudson's going to be coming up.
I don't think there's a spot. I mean, he's on a minor.
Who knows if what's going on with I mean, they're going to need spots.
He's on a league minimum contract for 1 more year. I think he can move him. I think they can move him. So I don't think. Just hang on. I've been waiting to do this because I don't think I've ever done 3 in a row. Bob Cannon. There's it going, Bob.
I love this. I love this from Bob too. This is good. This is a good debate. I know where me and Pete stand, and I know where Rick stands. This is going to be a fun debate.
Where will my U be next year? I think he's done with junior. I'm not sure he is.
He needs to play in the ball.
So, I mean, he's going to be in London or Laval. I don't think it's not going to be here in Montreal.
He has to play in Laval. If the NHL clears him, he has to play in Laval. There's no reason for him to play another year in June. There's literally no reason. He needs pro coaching to fix the decision.
It could be simply a reason of politics. The AHL's not ready to allow him, and they want another year. And it could be that because of his,
I'm out of the field.
Because of his track record. It could be that. It could be just because of the track record.
Stop for a second. We've got an old boy in the chat that's saying hello.
I don't see
Jeremy Delaney.
Delaney!
Where are we? I'm not down there yet. Where?
JD.
What's up,
Good to see you.
Sorry, I took it away. Hey, JD, how's it going, man?
What's happening, brother?
Miss you, buddy.
That threw me off. Okay, wait. I want to get my point across. I don't know what it was now. Damn it. What was the question again?
I'll put Bob's comment back up.
Oh, okay. So if the AHL's not ready yet, and they say, listen, we're not ready to allow him. So what are they going to do? He's going to play in London. Because if the AHL doesn't allow him, neither will the NHL.
Did you hear what I said? I said if the AHL clears him,
yeah, okay, but my point was it could be because
he's going to Laval. I said if they clear him and he's able to go to Laval, he needs to go to Laval. No good is going to come from him playing in the OHL again, except for scoring a shitload of goals, getting a shitload more of assists.
It's not always.
He needs pro coaching to work on the decision making. Like it's just facts are facts.
I don't know if it's. I mean, he's behind in his development. No matter what you see on the ice, there's things that he still needs to learn. You know, I still think he could probably benefit from dominating another season down there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not 100%.
I think he needs pro coaching.
I disagree wholeheartedly. He needs to be in Laval, and the AHL needs to let him play.
Isn't Dale Hunter the coach of London Knights?
Might be.
It's pro coaching as far as I know.
No, Bob. Mayuda has technically he's got one more year, but he needs professional coaching to work out those kinks in his game, that decision making.
Exactly.
Offensively, he's ready. I mean, offensively, he's more than ready for the NHL. I mean, it's pretty much clear as day. I don't know how you can say he's not. I think defensively, his decision making obviously needs work. Positioning wise, it's not bad. Could be better, but it's not bad.
Not great. I mean, let's be honest, Matt.
It's not great, but it's also not terrible. You know what I mean? Like it's in the middle.
He needs to get out of juniors, and he needs to get into Laval and really play with better competition, with guys more up to his skill level. And right now,
because that's how he's going to learn. He needs that professional coaching. He plays another year in juniors. All he's going to do is just outclass everybody again.
And that could be really bad, because then he's going to become overconfident. He's going to go in cocky, and then
not necessarily though. No, I don't. I still don't 100% agree with that. So, I mean, that's my opinion. I think it can go either way. That's all.
What's the other way then, Rick?
Well, the AHL or London. It's going to be. I think though there's a chance that he'll play in London.
But if he dominates in the AHL like he has already, what good is that going to do him?
Well, no. First of all, you said it wrong. He has not dominated
in the OHL.
OHL, sorry.
Because if he's not fully developed, they might feel that they'd rather him finish that development in the AHL and the OHL. I could see it.
But if the level of coaching in the OHL isn't as good as the AHL.
If Dale Hunter's your coach, I don't know. I think your level of coaching is pretty damn good.
I disagree with you, my friend, in this case.
That's fine. You're allowed to, and I'm allowed to disagree with you.
Yeah. It's not going to do him any good to stay in the O.
I don't think it will.
I don't know.
I really don't think it will.
I mean, I could be wrong, obviously, but I think there's a chance that he. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he only will. That's it. He'll only play in London.
Has to have the last word on this.
You have the last word. I have to have the last word. That's me. All right, so let's flip that around. Who'll be the Habs rookies next year?
I think Josh Waugh, makes the team. I think he's got probably the best shot out of anyone in the Val right now to make the jump.
Let me see now. Let me think about that. Who's in Laval that could? I'm trying to think of who. I mean, I think a guy like he didn't show enough this year, but I mean, he's leading the Rockets, so Anthony Richard could be a guy. Still be a rookie. He didn't play enough games.
Yeah, we'll probably need some polishing in the ball.
I think
Josh was just about ready.
I actually do. I agree with you on Joshua Ross.
Josh is there.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. I do agree with that. So no, I'm not.
I think we might. He won't be a regular NHL, but I think we might see a little bit more of Lucas Condotta because obviously he proved something to get the call up in this last game, so we might see him a little bit more.
I mean, he did well with it. I don't know that he proved something. It seems like it's more of a reward for his hard work while he was down there. But I mean, comes up and scores a goal. So they're take a closer look at him for sure.
He played like a pest that whole game. I mean, he was in on every play.
I get it. I mean,
pretty well at the dot. Wasn't afraid of anything.
I can see Condotta being a guy like if you're not gonna keep Pizzetta around. I could definitely see Condotta getting at, or like even for a Belzile. What do you think about Belzile? What do you think they do with Belzile?
Depending on how the injury heals, I can maybe see him in the fourth line.
Shit, there's a lot of comments. I'm sorry about all the comments I'm not getting to.
Belzile's got some work to do, and his age is his big thing.
That's my concern because he's what? He'll be 32, right? By the time next season rolls around.
I
believe so. Yeah.
So I mean, at that age, he's really kind of what he is, right? More or less.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, no, it's not terrible. Like it's good. Like if you have to call him up for an I thought he did amicably well because they had to call him up on an emergency basis, and I mean I didn't really see
really well. So I think he did really good for what he was supposed to do.
I think he's a good depth piece if you need him, but yeah, I mean I think he is what he is.
You gotta wonder if it's time to move on if he's not going to make the team. It's time to move on from him. He might have some interest for another team. Another team might be interested in him.
He could, yeah. So, I
don't know. I hope for him he signs somewhere and gets a good chance at a team where he'll actually get a chance. Because I mean, there's a long-term spot here for him.
No. His like I said, his age is a big hamper for him to move forward. But there's another piece of trade bait, right? For somebody that needs that, third line player that is going to grind and give you the minutes that you need. And I mean, his work ethic is good. So we'll see where he ends up.
Well, you got younger guys that I think will fill the bill for a Belzile.
We've got so many young people that we need to start creating room for. We're handcuffed right now so bad. It's heartbreaking. It hurts.
But for Belzile, he's had success here for like half a season. I don't know that you want him. I don't know if he's going to want to sign to be Laval's captain again. He's probably going to want to find a job in the NHL.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably gone.
In terms of rookies too, what about Emil Heineman?
Oh, there's the other.
I know he's only played 10 games, but he's got, I think, 10 points in those 10 games. 7 goals, 3 assists, or 7 goals, 2 assists.
And Heineman had a really good.
He's number one on my list.
Heineman had a really good camp, if you remember. So Heineman is definitely. Yeah, I think Heineman.
I think he's a good candidate.
I think Heineman's a guy that'll be a rookie on the team next year. So what do we get? We got Roy, Heineman. I think there's going to be more than that.
I think Anthony Richard's also a good shout.
I'm not. I mentioned him, but I'm not 100% sold on him. But there's another one. We were talking about this the other day.
He's got a bazillion points.
There's another guy though that's a better candidate for him. I'm just not. I'm not. Was it Beck that we were talking about?
He's in the OHL still.
I mean, but it was one of the last cuts this camp. I mean, next camp he's going to be that much better, and he'll be able to make the jump.
Unless they move him. Going to trade for say a certain French guy from Winnipeg.
Yeah, I don't buy into that rumor. I still don't. I don't think
I got a list of 10 players that are, in my mind, on the cusp of possibly coming up. And I
Riley
think
Kidney on that list?
No, sir.
I think with me, I think with Kidney, I think it's his size a little bit, but I mean, he's putting up the points. Jesus.
It's his size. And these are kids that I am amazed by. These are my personal 10 favorites, and I'm gonna rattle them off real quick. First one was Emil Heineman or whatever, right? Yeah. You got Sean Farrell, Jaden Struble, Owen Beck, Adam Engstrom, Joshua Waugh, Lane Hudson, Philip Machar, Logan Mailloux, and Jan Mysak. Those are my big 10 that within the next year or two, we need to create space for these guys because they're all up and coming players.
Yeah, they can't all. They probably won't all fit though. Somebody
exactly.
They're gonna move.
What are we gonna do with these guys? Like we have to.
Well, move them, or they'll develop them longer in the minors and keep them around. And you got to have guys around like that too.
We still have to have depth.
Yeah, you got to have the depth, and you know, one or two won't make it.
No,
that's just the
I really
the mathematics of it.
I do not want to see like the likes of Heineman and Engstrom disappear. Like
I don't know much about
Heineman. I don't think. Well, I think of the guys on that list. To me, 4 of those guys really stood out to me as like I'm very comfortable saying with almost 99% certainty that we're gonna need to make spots on them. They will be with the big club. And that's Heineman, that's Waugh, that's Lane Hudson, and Logan Mailloux. I really think so. If he can fix his defensive game, man, he's gonna.
What about Mysak though?
I didn't hear who you said.
I said, what about Mysak?
What position is Mysak? Is he a wing?
Center.
He's center.
Center winger.
The thing is, I mean, how deep are we going to be at center anyway?
I honestly, Mysak, I think is a guy that is moved, and I don't think you have room. I just don't think you have room, and he's not a big guy. Right? He's on the small side,
right?
Was the center.
Obviously, we got Doc, we got Suze. You know, whoever we pick in this draft, right? If it's Will Smith and Leo Carlson, or we move up, get Fantilli, all 3 of those guys can play center. I know Carlson and Will Smith can play the wing equally as well too.
And that's the idea, right? Guys that can play both.
See where I'm saying we're so handcuffed right now. Like, it's a great place to be.
Handcuffed how?
We have so much talent in our junior leagues that, and we have this pay structure that we have to deal with these veterans that we have on the team right now. We're screwed. Like we have these horrible contracts with Gallagher and Armia and the likes, shit like that. Like we got Anderson and the list just goes on.
But it makes the necessity of having to have guys like these young guys who don't cost you a lot. So you need that influx of these guys coming in over the next 3-4 years just to keep the gap.
Totally agree with you.
At bay.
We somehow need to start creating space for these guys as well. Right?
Well, they will. I mean, listen, they're definitely going to, especially over the next 2 seasons, as guys like Hoffman and Armia come off the books. You're going to see that kind of spot. And then you're going to see Pizzetta. There's not going to be room for a guy like Pizzetta. There's not going to be room for Belzile. And those guys are going to have to come off the books as well as these younger kids develop. So, and we were talking about the rookies. I had Sean Farrell, I think was the other guy. I'm thinking, though, Sean Farrell seems to me like a guy, maybe he's here all year, but I could see him actually developing the season in the AHL. I could see it. He didn't wow me. He didn't wow me. I could see some development taking place there.
He still needs a little bit of cleanup. He's very rough around the edge. Not very rough around the edges. He's just slightly rough around the edges. He could use some work.
He needs some work. He does. And something about Candada's recall that I was a writer, I think, writing about it. I thought it made a lot of sense. Recalling Candada and all that, it's kind of confirming they like the direction Jean-Francois Houle is taking the Rocket in. They like what he's doing. They like his coaching. It's in line with what they're doing. And I think that's why you've seen 7 rookies make the team, not just because of injuries. 7 rookies had their debuts this year. It's not just because of injuries. They want to see their development because they're being developed down there.
4 of them played defense.
Yep.
Well, we had a lot of injuries there. So, no, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking
Julie, Arbor, Harris, and Barron.
I guess I am talking about those guys. No, Harris made his
debut. So what better place for Mailloux to work on his defense if not Laval? Just saying.
I'm not saying he doesn't go there. I'm saying I still feel he might have one more season in London. That's all. I'm not saying it's a bad thing if he goes to Laval. It's not, but I don't know. I don't feel yet that he's absolutely going there. That's all.
Okay, let's move on from that one.
All right, what do we got here?
Let's get back to our chat and see what everybody's saying in there.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking, but you guys do. I'm kind of lax on that, I guess, tonight.
I mean, yeah, George, I can't disagree with that. I mean, you're obviously right. And he's also a really good player too. But I mean, you're absolutely right. He is French. And if what he said is believed to be true, then I mean, yeah, obviously he wants to come home. But that's to be seen. But I can't disagree with this at all.
But you know what? I like that comment in this way. It's one of the reasons why I don't want Dubois, because if they're going after Dubois, and one of the big reasons is because he's French, they're going after him for the wrong reason, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't think that would be the big reason why they would.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sold on that.
Gordon and Hughes. I think that's certainly a part of it.
Too many signs of them kowtowing to this stupid government of ours, and I don't like it.
I don't think Hughes and Gordon would just go to a player and go, "Oh,
they're doing it though." By kind of making sure the players are all bilingual and pushing, and then all this French we're getting in the interviews and stuff like that. They're doing it. They've never done this kind of support of the French thing till this year. They've never done. They've stuck their noses out of it most of the time, and now all of a sudden they're embracing it. Come on, I'm sorry.
Bob Cannon has a nice comment up there. Logan Mailloux stats this year: 59 games, 25 goals, 28 assists, 53 points, plus 15.
I see it.
77 penalty minutes. I'd say he is ready defensively, and plus 15 as a D-man at Man Outdoor Sports Channel.
It's not like I don't get you guys. I get it, and I'm saying I'm fine if he does go there. I have this feeling, and that's all it is. That's all. I can't really support it in anything. You're making good arguments, and I'm not really 100% disagreeing with you. It's just I think there's a chance he goes and starts in London. I guess he'll have to play the whole season. Well, what's the ruling on that? If he starts in London, can he get moved up to Laval during the season?
I don't know. Actually, I have no idea.
He can for some reason. I'm not sure about that though.
It's like Jay Fed says, Mailloux has to show it in camp. There's that cloud that hangs over Mailloux. They need to clear that up ASAP so that Montreal can move forward with such a player.
Well, you do realize that he won't be in camp. You know why? You know why?
Yeah, exactly.
The NHL hasn't approved him to play in the NHL, cannot be at camp. So he'll be at the Rockets camp probably. Whether that means he's making the Rocket or not, it doesn't. But he won't be at Habs camp unless the NHL approves that. And that hasn't happened yet. So I wouldn't count on that. It is a while away, though, so who knows?
Yep. But even Jeremy here, Jeremy Delaney, we need space for the kids. Like he's with everybody else on here pretty much.
Well, okay, but honestly, on the Habs defense right now, I don't think there's space right now for necessarily adding more rookies there yet.
No,
so I mean, but Mailloux's not making the team this year. I mean, that's not this next season. It's not going to happen. No. AHL at best for sure.
But like I'm looking ahead, like after like not this up, not 23, 24, but like 24, 25. Because I think that I think Hudson signs his ELC after this year for you. I do, especially if he has another season like he just did. I think he signs his ELC and he may. I'd be damned if he didn't make the Habs roster.
Somebody check on this. JD says he thought he was at Mayu was at rookie camp last summer.
He was.
Mayu
was at camp.
Well, how could that be if the NHL hasn't approved him?
I think that.
I think you can have people at camp.
Okay, this is what happened. Wait, he was at the rookie development camp, which is a little different, I think, and that's probably where he was. I don't think he was at the regular camp. He was at the rookie development camp, is what you're saying, and I think that's allowed, but I don't think he's allowed at the regular camp. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, JD says he was there, but he wasn't allowed to play a game. Well, there you go. So that won't change. He could be at camp, but he won't be in the games. So he won't be able to make an impression that way. So he'll be in the AHL. I mean, if they're not keeping him in London, he'll be in the AHL.
Which is complete and utter.
What does Mayu have to do to be allowed to play? He's doing everything he has to do.
It's
just the league to make the decision.
Yeah.
Habs to say we want him, then and they make the decision. He'll be allowed. I'm not worried. He'll be allowed. Habs first round pick this year may make the team. Yeah, that's possible. Definitely. Depending who it is. I don't know about Will Smith being NHL ready. But if they get one of the top two guys, yeah.
I'm glad my boy Matt over there is finally coming around and liking Leo Carlson. What a monster.
All right.
Dude, can you imagine like a second line of like
dude,
Doc Carlson, like say this is assuming we get PLD, right? Top line's Caulfield, Sue's PLD. Second line, ready? Slav, Carlson, Doc, or Slav, Doc, Carlson. Those are three hunks of meat on the second line. I mean, that's a lot of beef. That's a pain in the ass to play against.
Where's the beef?
You are going to get beaten to a pulp.
Where's the beef? Okay, are we ready to move to a heavier subject? Since you guys don't want to agree with me on anything. Now, are you ready for my what irks me?
Yeah.
Sure.
For everybody out there, listen, I'm going to give you some warning. It's a bit of a heavy subject. Pete kind of ties in with what you wanted to do that we didn't really get around, and you didn't have an opportunity really to do that again for this. So don't be upset that mine kind of it supports yours. It's kind of in that, but it supports you. You'll see.
I'm going on the racism train right now. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. But I don't want you to feel that way. I only thought of it this morning, and I wrote it this morning. Like there was no thought ahead, and we didn't really have a chance to talk about yours and work that out. Yours was a little heavier than mine, but it's in line. So I hope y'all. This is what I had. This is what irks me, and it irks me often. And I'm going to play it for you guys now. And I'm going to shut up. And here you go. Warning. This video contains adult language. Snowflakes should not watch this video for fear your brain may explode out of your head.
What irks me? You know what really grinds my gears?
Hey, everybody. What irks me this week is intolerance, unwillingness or refusal to tolerate or respect opinions or beliefs contrary to one's own, unwillingness or refusal to tolerate or respect persons of a different social group, especially members of a minority group. So what irks me today is the amount of intolerance you see from too many people on a daily basis. Whether it's online on every social media platform or at the grocery store or the post office, the bank, a restaurant, or even just walking your dog. It's everywhere. Intolerance and hate, a deplorable duo. I'm guilty of it myself a bit and try to fight against it as much as I can. When did we all start hating each other to the point where we just stopped listening to one another? No more tolerance and understanding for the other side. Just closed-mindedness and pure and utter hatred for each other. Is it the lead in the water, bringing our intelligence as a society down to the level of so many generations before us? Whatever happened to never again? Never again allowing the hate and destruction of fascism into our lives. Never, ever again. And yet, here we are. Fascism and racism, hatred for everyone that's different, anyone, any idea that's different. We live our lives more and more in fear of the color of someone's skin, who that someone prays to, and even who that person loves. Fear, hatred, racism, fascism, intolerance. It's going to cause the destruction of the planet and the human race. Intolerance. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm intolerant to intolerance. Sorry for the heaviness of the subject. That's what I came up with.
No, I think it's important. I commend you for that. I do.
I mean, it is important, and I see it every day, and just that's really what irks me. More often than not, that's what irks me.
No, I mean, I'm right there with you. I get it. I'm just sick of it. I get so sick of it at this point. Like I can't go like on really any social media or anything like that without as much as I try to avoid it. Like I just can't go on anything like that without seeing, stuff like that all the time. And I'm just so sick of it because, like you said, like it just seems like all of a sudden everyone just hates each other now. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like
it's everywhere. What keeps me off? I'm on Twitter a lot, but man, there's times I just don't want to see it. It's just too much. Just too much hate. Pete, what do you got to say about that? Because a lot of people don't know. So Pete made what irks me, and we didn't end up using it. And it's been a month since the last one, so we didn't get an opportunity to redo it. And I just thought it was a little bit heavy. But it's kind of in this line. I'm not wrong about that, right? I mean, it was basically about intolerance, and there was a story out, a horrible thing. And I'm just curious to what you just thought about that.
Hey, look at my skin color. You don't think I deal with it every day?
Well, of course, that I know.
Dude, we go to local grocery stores, the wife and I have East Indian people looking at me with weird eyes because I'm with a white chick.
Yeah.
I have been in Abbotsford in a grocery store with the wife, and I've had an East Indian woman come up to me and say, "What, are our women not good enough for you? That you got to go to a white chick?"
I mean, what's her business?
So, with the racism and all that crap, like I'm not gonna lie, I wish we would have played my video that I did for you, but it was too heavy, so it is what it is. But I'm sick and tired of it. I see it every day. I see, and I'm guilty of it as well.
I think we all are a little bit, right? We all have a little bit of it.
Yeah, I have my hatred towards other races out there, and but it's just they just don't know better. Some of them, some of them don't know that over here you got to give people space. You can't get right in their face and yada blah blah blah. So
I get what you're saying about they don't know better, but the thing is, I don't fully buy that because you know what, they should know better. That's all I'm saying.
It's hard when you live in a city where there's
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Of Canada in a city.
No, I get what you're saying. I still don't buy it. To me, it's common sense to know better, but I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, you think so, right? Like, to me, it should just be basic human decency.
Common sense went out the window a long time ago now. Yeah, I think you're right.
And human decency went out the window.
2016. I wonder if it ties back to 2016 when you know who was elected.
I don't even want to bring politics into it, Rick, but common sense disappeared after the 80s.
Bubble tea. He says common sense not that common anymore.
Exactly.
It's true.
It's true. It's not.
It's the problem. Nobody can agree with
common sense. Like I just said, it disappeared with the people of the 80s. The people of the 80s, we did not transfer common sense to our kids. I struggle trying to put common sense into my girls that are 18 right now.
Yeah.
I listen to some parents. I'm not trying to be nosy, but when I'm out shopping or whatnot, I hear mothers and fathers doing, we don't say no. No. We don't say no. We let them do what they want. And we, describe the consequences. Come on.
And now you know why people do what they want. And that's what happens. Everyone does what they want without concern about somebody else.
Common sense disappeared.
Yeah. Just common decency disappeared too. Because when you allow kids to just do whatever they want all the time and don't tell them no, they end up being not very decent kids or people because they don't know how to be. You didn't teach them.
Habs Guru, I wish that was true, brother. Racism won't go away until everyone on the planet is the same color. People try to assume that they're entitled in their opinion to their situation. Racism will never disappear. I spent so many years in my teens and early 20s, even into my 30s, trying to beat it out of people. And it's never going to disappear.
No, it's never going to go away. Racism. No, it's never going to go away, And none of that, it's made a return, right? I think we were on a good path to making it go away. And then all of a sudden, it's just back. We've gone to the dark ages and everybody wants to just kill each other. And that's it. And yeah, it gets tiring. It's what I like about coming in here and doing this and all that. We're a lot of kind of like-minded people. We don't have all the same thoughts or whatever, but we're not. I don't know. We're not crazy people. I don't know. With decency, we think of others. It's a good group of people here, and it's kind of one of the things I really like because I don't think I leave the house. I swear to God, I leave the house. Especially if I'm going shopping or something, it never fails. Somebody pisses me off because they're I don't know how to they're horrible. So, it's every day. Anyway, that's what I came up with because I'd forgotten about it. And I was panicked. That's why I didn't think about your video, Pete. I thought, the one irks me. I got panicked and I had to come up with it. And I wasn't thinking about yours that way. And we didn't, but anyway, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Mine just focused around that East Indian kid in Kelowna. That's all. And, latest on that kid is his jaw is wired shut. It's brutal.
It is. Intolerance is exactly that. It's brutal. And Bubble Tea there makes a good point. When I became more important than something was lost. And when that happened? I can tell you when that happened.
Oh, I can tell you when it happened too.
When it became, when you were a kid and you had here we call it field day. So we'd do all kinds of little games and sports and shit. And you'd get badges first, second, and third. When they started giving you a badge because you came in 50th place and they had to wait an hour for you, something's wrong. And that's what happened.
That's when it all screwed up. Do you remember Kirsten just showed it to me and I wish I had it handy dandy right now. There was 3 badges. She showed me 4. One was black, one was silver, one was red,
and the blue one was the participation for us.
And these were 4 round badges. They were all on, canvas or whatever, and they weren't. It was first,
second, third, and participation.
First, second, third, and then there was 4th. They had a 4th.
Oh,
and
even that 4th. Who celebrates that too much? First, second, third.
Now it's participation badges for everybody, for everything. Screw off. You're either first or you're last.
And you know where I think my proof, I just thought of this too. It's a good way to prove it. I wasn't raised with that. If you tell me I'm not good enough at something, or I try and I'm not good enough, I don't beat myself up over it and whatever. I can move on. I'm not good enough at it. You do that to kids today, you can't criticize. They don't believe they're not good enough for anything. And anything they do, well, I did it. It's good. No. That's where the problem started. Anyway. Let's get back to hockey because this was heavy. What do you think?
No, I think you're right though. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I grew up in the 2000, like early 2000s, but it was the same thing. Like I never got like,
So let me ask you a question. So you grew up with that. Is that the reason why you figured, like, I don't show up every night, but it's okay?
No, I didn't grow up with like participation.
I have to throw that one in.
Sort of. Like I played fun intramural sports, and I don't know. Some coaches at the end of the year would give us all a trophy.
Well, once you're past a certain age, though, they don't do it. But I'm talking about the development years.
That was when I was really little. But once I was in middle school, right? And I was playing like competitive, like little league and competitive basketball.
That's cool. You learn how to lose, hopefully, right? But when you're
the only two trophies I still have are one for winning a baseball championship and one for winning a basketball championship. That's it.
But when you're 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're in school and they're giving you you did shit, and they go, oh no, it's good, here's a prize for it. You think anything you do is good, and that's the problem. People walk around and anything they do, there's nothing wrong with it. So what if it hurt you? I did it. It's fine. I hate that attitude. Anyway. Mm-hmm. Can we move on to something else, or you guys want to continue? I'll continue talking about it, but I'm thinking, hey, that's not my kid.
I guess my family upstairs is watching.
I guess so. I hope we haven't insulted anybody.
No.
How do you pronounce Kearney? Is that that's how you pronounce it? Kearney?
Kearney.
Hey, Kearney. Nice to have you in the chat. Hopefully we didn't say anything wrong. We didn't say anything wrong.
No, she's tough as nails, man. She's my daughter.
I'm interested. So what does Kearney think about what we're just talking about?
The racism stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean that and the participation badge stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't believe in that participation badge stuff. You got to remember, these girls were in Sun Hang Do, and you either
put up or shut up.
Put up or shut up. And exactly, you didn't get your next belt unless you earned it. And we were all gathered together the other day, and we were sitting down talking, and they just realized that they were one belt level from getting their black belts in Sun Hang Do. They were almost there, but we had to move, so they didn't get to finish. But weapons training and stuff like that, they rocked it. They were great.
I was a white belt.
Get to pass unless they did the kata right. So
I was a white belt. Impressive, except that's the color of the belt the thing came with. So I never moved up. My brother took karate. I did not.
I never took karate. I just took hand-to-hand combat in the military. And
in the military, yeah, that's pretty tough there. And this is your other daughter? Is it Kaylin?
There's Kearney and Kellen is
Kellen.
Kellen is my daughter's boyfriend.
Oh, Kellen's your daughter's boyfriend. Gotcha. Okay. Very Irish name, it seems like to me.
No, the other Kale is the Irish guy in the family. Yeah.
Okay, but Kearney sounds to me Irish.
Kearney is it was a book that I was reading just when they were born. So I really like the guy's last name, and I chose to.
Oh, so it's not okay. It sounds Irish though to me. I like it though. I've never seen the name, and I like the name. Yeah. Irish names can sometimes be really nice.
The twins. I call them the knee twins because they're both their names end with NEY.
Ah, okay. Cool. But Bubble Tea says sounds like Kay is a prerequisite, except that's her boyfriend, not your daughter. What's your other daughter's name?
Lainey.
There you go. So it's the K is not needed.
No.
Gotcha.
I think FIDA also requires like a 5-page essay and like a full background check before he even allows you to go out with his daughters.
Plus the tracking device. He demands a tracking device implanted.
Both the boys got the talk, and both the boys know that my only rule, if you make my daughter cry,
I make you cry.
10 times.
There you go.
10 times harder.
There you go. Yeah. I'm glad I'm too old for. I'm glad I'm not Kellen.
But like I was saying, I was in the military and I was doing hand-to-hand combat. I placed what was that? 2nd overall in Manitoba and 5th overall in Canada back in the day.
Awesome. I'll remember not to piss you off while you're in the same room with me.
I'm so old now.
No, just while you're in the same room with me, I won't piss you off. Outside of that, maybe.
I still do some stupid things. Like I just recently gave it up. I used to place mirrors in my house strategically so that I could see if someone was in my home from other angles and shit like that. I was messed up. No.
Oh yeah. Well, sometimes being in the military will do that to you, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm kind of a how do you call it? Military? I guess a war movie buff like that. I love war movies and shit. I would not want to be in the army though, but I'm fascinated.
It was bad. Like you think racism outside in the regular world is bad? Dude,
oh yeah.
When I was in the military, I was called a crow. I was called a sand nigger. I was called so many goddamn things it wasn't funny.
Oh, I know. Listen,
I think that's where I learned racism.
And they say it's not systematic, right? And
right,
I mean, right there, right? That's systematic racism, right there. Right? If it's in the military like that.
To call me a crow. Never understood it.
Bubble TK is not silent. Kellen's a guy.
Yeah.
That's how it's her boyfriend. Otherwise, it's her girlfriend. So
he's a good kid.
One or the other.
He's a very good kid. Both my girls have found really good guys to date.
Well, speaking of good guys,
well, they're still living, so clearly they're good guys.
Yeah, that's right. They still have all their limbs. Speaking of good guys, let's talk about an upcoming interview that Pete and I are going to do with an author of a children's book. What's the name of it? I should have been more prepared. I didn't write down the name.
I can't remember. It's
I can't access it.
Hero hockey. What was it again?
Anyways, it's his name is it Aja? Aja Baines. He was a hockey player and
so good at I'm gonna miss it.
He was a Memorial Cup winner and captain of the Kamloops Blazers, and he also was captain of the where were they? Hamilton Bulldogs when they were the Habs farm team. So there's a Montreal connection there. They approached us to do an interview and for promotion of the book and everything. So we're doing that this Thursday. There'll be a video put out on the channel. Plus, they're going to use the video to promote the book. So you might see it elsewhere by chance. I don't know where it'll be. So, but we're doing that, and it's a really good opportunity for the channel and for us. So hopefully you guys will check that out when we're done with that. And if we had more information, you can look the guy up. But look up Aja. That if you're English, it's AJ, AJAY, but it's pronounced Aja. Baines, which is very easy, Baines. Look him up, and you'll find the book. And he's got an interview out there, and we're gonna do an interview like that.
I saw that it was on like the Punjab.
It's Punjabi.
I watched that. That's why I'm so gutted that I won't be here for it.
Yeah,
because like he seems like just a genuinely really really good guy.
He does.
He's just a really good guy.
So we're gonna get to meet him. And by the way, Pete confirmed they're sending me 2 copies of the book, so I'll send you one.
Awesome.
Matt, I couldn't get 3, and since you're not doing the interview, I can't help that.
No, listen, it's out of my hands. Unfortunately, I got to work.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, but they're sending me 2 copies, so it'll be in the background when I get my copy, and I'll send.
I will have it in my background on that wall.
That's what I told. I said we'd like to have them on the sets. So,
yeah. But definitely, and I'll text you on on that Thursday to remind you. But definitely give him my best because I really wish I could have beat him.
I'm really looking forward to getting this guy's story. I mean, he seems like such a nice person, and that was my big thing. Like after watching the video, at first I was kind of like, yeah, let's do it, Rick. And then after watching his video on that Punjabi channel for CBC, I was like, whoa, or no, not CBC, Global, wasn't it? It doesn't matter.
Oh, no, Hockey Night in Canada must have been CBC.
Oh, okay.
Or City, one of the two.
Bottom line, I mean, the guy he's so genuine, honest, and
yeah, he's genuine. I think that's the way he looks like.
So why wouldn't you want to help somebody like that?
Yeah. Plus, he's part of your community, and you always said you like to promote, because of that racism, right? You want to show for good, not that. So I thought, great opportunity.
Guys,
all that sort of stuff. It's a good thing, really good thing for the channel.
You guys talk about
he grew up in the interior, up in Kamloops, and that is it's no cakewalk. It's like
I think that's what he said. Was not.
I grew up in Quesnel. He grew up in Kamloops. You talk to Terry. You listen to Terry Ryan, and he talks about those places.
No, not easy.
No. You gotta be tough to walk around on the streets in those towns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to say that after 4 years of doing this channel, I'm starting to get some. We're starting. I got to get used to saying we because, going forward it is we. But I mean, I've done this for 4 years, starting to get some serious offers now because we've got something else in the works. I'm not gonna give you details, but there's something else good that we were approached by outside, and they found the channel, saw what we're doing here, and we got these two offers. So the interview is set that we got, and the other one we'll let you know what it's all about when the news comes in. We're on a hold pattern for that. That's why we haven't been able to announce it. But good things happening, and we're things. It's the first off season, to be very honest with you, first off season where I've got projects in the works that hasn't happened to me, like legitimate, not my own projects in the works. So yeah, we're really excited about it. I think. I know I am. Not those two guys.
Little shit.
What? What did he do?
The lady, look at him. He sniffs it out, little bastard.
I didn't confirm any of that. We are going to be doing a podcast, though. We're working on developing a full podcast.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, but that's not what it's not what I'm talking about, though. The other thing, but we've said this before. We're working on a podcast, and now that the season's over, I think we're going to get a little bit more serious into it. We've got some artwork happening, and hopefully, it won't be long. We'll have that podcast out there, and maybe even be getting some guests. Hopefully, like you mentioned, Terry Ryan, we're gonna approach him, and we're gonna see if we can get some guests and do a podcast, sort of like what Knuckles is doing, but obviously not exactly because we're who we are. But yeah, that's what we're hoping to do. So, but when the news comes in for this other thing, we'll announce it. No worries. What else we got going on? Oh, nice. Pete's in love with us. Love you guys.
Pete's been in love with me for the past.
I know. Everybody.
I love my people in the chat, man.
Us colloquially.
You two, I don't know. I just kind of put up with the two.
I mean, I'm way more handsome than Rick, so I mean, I think it's a no-brainer.
See, if Pete comes back on the show. Okay, what else you got for us? We're at the hour mark. I can go a little bit more if you guys are.
I'm always. Hey, look at how much I've consumed tonight, and I'm still.
Yeah, I'm still buzzed. I think from my one shot. No, I'm not, but yeah, I couldn't drink like that. There's no way. So whatever you guys want to talk about, because I just say that summer schedule for the off season, the first couple of months. I mean, we've got videos to do. We're working on right now a report card video That should be out. I would figure in the next few days. We got the interview. For the local people here in Montreal, I am hoping we can get a meetup going and get to meet each other. I'll announce any news when that actually I get serious about making, probably in July, so there's a lot of time. What else?
Bob's going to pour another one.
Sorry, what you guys got anything?
Well, Bob's going to pour another one, so we're going to.
Yeah, but we can talk about that.
Take another swig.
How long can we talk about that for? You guys got anything you guys want to talk about?
Actually, speaking of booze.
Oh,
right.
Speaking of booze?
But going back on the intolerance thing. I think this is the stupidest thing in the world right now. Why is it that so many people are offended that Anheuser-Busch put out a Bud Light can with a rainbow on it to support the LGBTQ community?
Because they're prejudiced against gay people and all that stands for. I know, but I'm not going over it. The funny part about that, though, is how do you do that? Then don't research that Coors Light, who now I'm going to be drinking Coors Light. They're the first beer company to support Pride back in the 70s and have been the biggest supporter of the Pride movement of all the beer companies, all the brewing companies.
Because those types of people are stupid.
Stupid. Moronic.
There's a video, I think, of Kid Rock shooting like 330 racks. I'm like, listen, I get it. If you don't want to drink the beer, don't drink the beer. But that's like 90 cans of perfectly good alcohol right there. You're not going to drink it. Give it to me. I'll put it to good use.
There's a lot of homeless alcoholics that need the beer. So, yeah, and I agree.
What would you do with it, Matt? Just out of curiosity, what would you do with all that booze?
Well,
drink it.
If it was football, well, yeah, over time. But if it was football season, I'd throw it in the cooler and go tailgate.
Well, there you go.
What do you think we do for Pats games? We throw 30 in the cooler, throw the grill in the car, drive down to Foxborough at like 8 a.m.
Nice.
Wait a second. Time. JD, elaborate. I think he does down there. There's nothing wrong with Lady Dick. He's a fan of trans girl on cis girl porn.
What?
That's chick with a dick and a girl that's a real girl.
Nothing wrong with that. Whatever
that's our buddy JD. JD, maybe a little more than we needed to know.
I don't see it yet. Holy, that
maybe just a little bit more. Okay, who's in agreement with JD? How many people like that kind of porn?
Oh, Bob, you can't shoot McClellan Scotch. Dude, no, it's not a shot. That's a sipper. You want to do shots? Let's do vodka.
Why? Why can't you shoot? You can shoot anything.
Well, you can shoot anything, but why would you take a single malt and shoot it?
That's why I didn't grab. That's why I didn't grab my Johnny Walker. That's why I grabbed the.
I have no idea.
Johnny Walker. What blue label?
I like the way he says it, Johnny.
Black label.
Black label, Johnny Walker.
He says it's not a shot. He just poured a shot. It doesn't mean he's drinking it like a shot.
It's not a shot. Okay, we're good then.
We said single malt on the rocks, so obviously you poured it.
I got my
into
sipper.
A glass on the rocks.
I got my sipper.
Kid Rock and Travis Tritt were trending over what? The Lady Dick? No, the Bud Light. Yeah.
No,
Kid Rock not smart enough
a bunch of things of Bud Light because apparently they're too offended by a beer company supporting equality.
I don't think they pushed the Coors Light stuff, but you know who did? Marjorie Taylor Greene. She put out a big thing, and everybody tweeted back to her with the Coors Light posters of all the colors on it and everything. Like, see you next Tuesday.
Whoa. That be careful there, Mr. Rick.
Well, I see what's wrong. I can see you next Tuesday. What if I'm not going to be in your part of the woods next Tuesday? Now, listen, we all know what it stands for, but that's what she is. I'll say it to her face. No, I've said it to her on Twitter. I've tweeted her back with not some nice things. Why not?
I blocked her because I felt like every time I'd see a tweet of hers, I'd lose a couple of brain cells.
That's
Laura Goldberg too.
You know what though?
Jesus, they're both stupid.
This is what inspired what irks me is Twitter. I'm some days it's all intolerance and hate and division and one side and then against the other, and it just drives me crazy. I have to. There's a lot of mornings where I don't go on Twitter for a couple of hours because I don't want to get in a bad mood that early in the morning.
Living out here on the West Coast, I don't know what it's like back there. Okay, I've got to admit, I've never been to Montreal, never been to Boston. My wife, she's been to both, I believe. But out here, living on the West Coast, we've got a lot of people that like to hug trees, literally.
Yep,
like literally.
That can get on you though too. I mean, I can get annoying too. It's
driving down.
I got a story.
I got a real good story for you. Just hear me out. I'm in my Chevelle. I'm in rush hour traffic driving downtown Victoria, and I got a woman in a silver Nissan Leaf, and she's sitting beside me, and she goes, "Your car stinks. People like you burning all that fossil fuel." Blah, blah, blah. She went off on me. So eventually, I managed to get in front of her, and I was revving the snot out of my car. Of course, it was running rich. I'm 454 big block with a big 1050 Demon on it. So, running super rich. Good smell of fuel coming out the tailpipes. Just fed it to her a little bit. And, I got the headlight flicker from her and stuff. So then I had to leave her in a nice cloud of white smoke as well. But, it's people like that just drive me bonkers. Like, okay, you got your electric car. How many kids in Africa or wherever are digging up that what's the name of that rocket?
The lithium?
Yeah,
lithium for the batteries?
Combined with the cobalt.
Oh, cobalt, yeah.
How many kids are going down those 12-inch shafts to dig that rock up for you, for your batteries? And how many valleys have we filled in with those batteries that are no longer rechargeable?
Okay, well, this is the argument for. This is one of the arguments for our e-vehicles. Are they really helping the ecology and the environment, or are they actually in the making of them creating more pollution and problems than a fossil fuel car in its lifetime would? So just the manufacture of all that causes enough environmental problems than the lifetime of a fossil fuel car. That's the controversy that's out there right now. It's not proven, I don't think, yet one way or the other, but it's kind of leaning towards the manufacture of these e-cars is not a good thing.
No, it's
going
not.
on Peter's point too. I mean, how many of those children have died in those mines?
Well, it's not just that. We're talking about.
It's not just that. I was reading an article somewhere, and damned if I can find it again. There's a couple of valleys, like massive valleys, that are filled with the used batteries because we got nowhere to put them.
I know. They're not recyclable at some point. They're just
can't do anything with them.
And all the chemicals and shit leak out of them into the earth.
And at some point, we're going to run out of the resources. I'm sorry, I talked over you, but at some point, we're going to run out of the resources to manufacture them as well. So we become reliant on these things. At some point, we're not going to be able to manufacture them anymore.
Exactly.
It's kind of like computer chips, isn't it?
I've been in a room where a battery has literally started to boil, and it was in a 1/4-inch steel container.
Yeah.
This battery, and it was for a simple forklift. Okay, just a simple hand truck forklift.
Yeah.
And the sides were starting to expand. I ended up pulling the emergency alarm, disconnecting, and getting the hell out of there. Eyes were burning, skin was burning, just being in that room with that battery.
For sure.
And just get rid of the goddamn batteries and just stick with fossil fuel for now. Got to find a different method.
I just want to address a couple of things here. First of Guru, Twitter is a cesspool. It's even worse since Elon Musk is there. But I do get a lot of good hockey info. So what I've started doing to avoid the drive me crazy, I'm blocking people. And it's not because they don't agree with but the crazies. I'm blocking the extremes. And it's getting better when I block the extremes.
Yeah,
so
just pick and choose who you follow and don't.
And I'm not just blocking. I'm not just blocking on the right, the left too. I don't like the extremes on either side. JD, he says. I don't know. I want to read that comment. It's a little racy. Check out Daisy Taylor. She was a flagrant two pod, and then got hooked on it. I won't sleep with them. That's the chicks with dicks, because the penis. But we'll watch her have confusing lady porn. That's funny. And also, JD, electric cars are not the answer. At least Big Oil didn't have children on the oil patch. What? What does that mean? I agree with you. I don't think electric cars are the answer. But what did you mean by that last part?
He's talking about the kids in the cobalt mines.
Yeah.
At least Big Oil.
But that's why I brought up.
Oh, that's what you're saying. I get it.
How many kids are dying mining that stuff for the batteries?
Yeah, but
not just the batteries themselves being a problem, but how many children have died in those mines?
Right. But let me ask you this. Is it going to change when how many states in the U.S. now are making it easier for kids to hire kids to work younger and make them do things that they shouldn't be doing? There's 3 or 4 states that just passed new laws. It's crazy. They're crazy.
For kids to pull cobalt, in one of the articles that I was reading, stops at about the age of 12 when they're over 70 pounds. If they're over 70 pounds, they can't squeeze in the hole.
Right. And that's what the young kids, that's the thing. They're getting them to do jobs like that are dangerous and not good for their long-term health. And they're too young and they're allowing it. I think they're going to roll back marriage, the age that you can marry a girl. There's one state they want to roll it back to 12.
Oh, I'm so glad Kirsten's not down here right now because she'd be losing her mind. There's some stuff about the marriage stuff.
It's crazy. He's an elected official, and he said, what's wrong with 12 years old? He says, I know people that were married at 12, and you know what? They're still married. But freely on their own will? You didn't say that part. Can you believe? I can't believe this shit. This is what all I can think of when I had to do work. What irks me is all this shit just bugs this shit.
I saw in Kansas. I saw a law got passed in their state senate that allows the politicians to request genital checks for children if they believe that they might be doing transgender stuff.
Oh, they want to be able. Yeah, they want to. Hey, they just outlawed the abortion pill. Did you see that? One guy.
Federal appeals court.
One guy in the U.S. No one in the U.S. can get it now.
No, that's not true. The federal appeals court struck down that ruling. So you can still get it as of right now, but that's probably going to go to
the fact that can even be something that could happen. People are insane. People are insane. There's no.
Or how about the two state senators that got kicked out of the Tennessee State Senate because they wanted to talk about gun control?
But did you see?
After an elementary school in Tennessee got shot up.
Both got reinstated. And how it backfired on the ones that threw them out. Now that they're reinstated, they can both introduce 15 bills because they're brand new again. And one guy said they're all going to be about gun control and gun laws. So, right on.
I have no issue with the Second Amendment, but things need to change. Because I've also had it.
Second Amendment needs an amendment.
I'm way over all these school shootings.
Sorry, Second Amendment needs an amendment. I am fed up with talking about gun violence in the U.S. because every goddamn day there's a shooting now. And I'm fed up. You guys don't want to do anything about it? Fuck you. That's my attitude. You don't want drag whatever to talk to kids because they're grooming them, but you don't give a shit if they're being blown apart by an AR-15 and they're being blown apart, people. They're not getting, I've got a little hole in me. It hits you there. They don't have an arm left. They get hit in the stomach. They're cut in half. That's what an AR-15 does, and they won't stop that shit. I don't want to hear it anymore. You're on your own. That's what I say.
When it comes to guns, I love my guns.
I love guns. I love shooting guns. I'm nothing against guns.
It's the people that have the guns. The gun doesn't do the killing.
Yes, the gun does.
No, it's the person that's handling the gun.
The person doesn't go in there and take the bullet and shove it in you and go like that. The gun does it, so the gun kills. But the person has to pull the trigger. But the gun kills. The gun is designed to kill. It's why it was designed in the first place.
Face, Rick. It's not the gun. It's the human that handles the gun. You trying to tell me that one of my guns that's under my bed right now is going to kill you? I have to.
No, but it has potential to.
Point it at you and pull the trigger.
Do you know that?
Walk out and kill you.
What's the stats on if you own a gun and you keep it in your house that you are more than likely to be killed by that gun that you own? You know what the numbers are on that?
All my life,
big time. I'm just you're a responsible gun owner. The problem is there's not enough of you.
The thing is,
you're in Canada too. You're in Canada, Pete. We respect it here.
We respect it, but the gun can't do the killing without the human aspect.
I agree, but to say that the gun doesn't kill, you're wrong. The gun does kill. It needs the human to do it, but the gun does kill.
But the gun cannot get up and pull its trigger and shoot you in the head.
But because the gun is there, the potential that it can be done is too great. It shouldn't be there. The fact that the gun is there, the potential for it to be used to kill something or someone is high.
I guess we'll have to disagree with this offline somewhere.
I definitely agree with you that the person has to pull the trigger, and that's a big aspect of it. But I never have agreed with to say guns don't kill, because you shoot them at somebody, they kill.
But that'd be the same thing as saying knives kill, because
that's our big issue right now. Is we have people getting stabbed left, right, and center in Vancouver.
Like, sure,
I understand here too. It's happening.
So should we ban knives too? No kitchen
knives?
No,
because that's a stupid argument. No, that's a stupid argument.
How's that a stupid argument?
Because I've just said to you, I agree with you. It's the people as well, but it's also the instrument you're giving them is way worse than a knife.
How is that way worse than a knife?
I would have to disagree with you on that.
It's Rick. It's the 21-foot rule.
No.
Anybody get that? Anybody get that one?
Rick, you're over talking. The gentleman at Starbucks asked the guy to move elsewhere and smoke a cigarette or vape somewhere elsewhere. That person took his knife out and stabbed that guy in the neck in front of his wife and kid.
Right. Of course, knives can kill.
Knives can kill. So how can you say, you're on the one hand, you're pro knives.
You can't ban knives?
Well, you can't ban guns.
Why?
What if I want to use that gun to go out and shoot myself an elk?
Well, you're allowed. That's not banned. That's not stopped.
But if you're banning guns, I can't do that.
They're not banning guns that way. Come on. Okay, are you going out and shooting an elk with an AR-15? Because if you're shooting the elk, you probably want to eat it. If you're shooting it with an AR-15, not going to be a lot left for you to eat.
No, that'd be
all depends.
Pretty much all the elk left. The AR-15 is not as powerful as you think, Rick. I've shot them.
Well, you're not using an AR-15 to hunt.
That wide.
You're not using an AR-15 to hunt. That's first off. So you're not. What's the use of AR-15s? What's the use of AR-15s? You got to get rid of those guns.
With ARs.
You got to get rid of guns like AR-15s. They're not necessary except for the military. No other reason for them.
It's the ammo that's more volatile than the weapon itself. In order to fire that ammo in an AR-15, you need a high velocity round. That's what's doing the damage. There's so many different ways to look at it, Rick.
J-Fed's got cars kill. You going to ban cars?
Exactly. Cars do kill.
Alcohol kills. Sugar kills. Alcohol kills. You gonna ban it? No.
So why ban guns?
It doesn't kill in the same way. That's why.
Bob Cannon says, "Okay, boys, this is futile. I had a great time tonight celebrating my 67th birthday with the Talking Habs crew tonight. Keep your sticks on the ice. I'm out."
Sorry we got so heavy. But let's get back to hockey. I don't care. So listen, if we're getting out of hand here, you guys in the chat, lead us. Here's my hand. Lead us. Whatever you guys want to talk about, put it in the
chat. I feel like Jay-Fred's point here, like I'm not, and like I said, when I talk about gun control, I'm not talking about banning guns at all. Like I'm 1,000% with Pete. But I do think there should be some sort of license that you need to get, right? Like the way they do it in Massachusetts, I actually like a lot. And a lot of gun owners that I know here also like it as well. You have to pass a safety course. And if you pass that and that gets signed off on by typically a police officer that gives the course or a very experienced shooter, then you apply for your license. And then once you get your license,
okay.
But I think that should be a federal thing. I think you should have to pass a safety course.
Okay, but let me ask
you. You should have to have a license to own a gun. Because there's states that you can just walk. I can walk into a gun store with my license and walk out with like 5 guns.
Right.
But I don't like that.
Let me ask you something. You know how in the States, especially the right-wing states, right? So the blue is it the blue states or the red? Who's blue and who's red? The red states.
Blue is left wing. So
the red states.
Red is right wing.
The red states. How how they follow each other, right? With the abortion thing, they all of a sudden they all have these huge abortion laws now, right? So now Florida passed a law right now in Florida. You don't have to have a license for it. All you have to do is be 21 or over, carry a gun, concealed, no problem. Anybody. Right? That's a problem. Now, what if all the states do that?
It won't happen up north. It won't happen up here, but it'll probably happen down south.
Won't happen. After World War II, the Holocaust, never again. Sorry. Won't happen, doesn't work.
I can tell you with pretty damn close to certainty it won't happen up north where I am, because a lot of the far right wing people are moving down south.
In Florida, the LGBTQ board, there's a board there. They put out an advisory telling people around the world, don't go to Florida. It's not safe because of the guns, because of the hatred towards trans and gays and all that, and all this. They listed them all. The banning of the books, all this stuff. Not safe. Imagine, that's the first time I've ever heard that. Don't go there. Not be careful when you go there. Don't go to Florida. Crazy. It's crazy shit, man.
No, I mean, it absolutely is. But I agree with you. I'm not a fan of that new law in Florida. I'm not, because at that point it's like I don't like at that point like I don't know if I would even feel safe walking down the street because I don't know who's got a gun. I don't know what they're thinking.
Hey, listen.
And if that goes to every state, most of the states won't go to everyone.
Listen,
crazy.
We're losing everybody in the chat with.
Are we? We got actually more
chat on guns. So let's get rid of the gun talk and let's talk hockey.
I agree with that, especially since you guys are wrong. I don't want you to be embarrassed about being wrong and everything about the guns. So I think we should stop. Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Now let's talk about something. I'm just having fun. I'm busting your guys' chops. Come on.
No. Listen,
unless that's banned and I can't bust your chops anymore.
No, you can. I don't.
Booking a flight to Montreal.
You're booking a flight to Montreal. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Okay, so what are we going to talk about?
Thank you, Matt. RA15.
Yeah, I knew JD would do something like that. Come on. It's good for small game. You hit it in the right spot. There's nothing left of it.
Small game, no, but like deer, fine. Elk are fine. The bullet's only like that big.
But who's really using an AR?
And it travels so fast.
An RA-15. No, it's AR-15. Who's using an AR-15 to hunt?
I know a few people that do.
I mean, if you're hunting people, yeah.
Not really deer or maybe elk per se, but like coyotes. Like I know people that in other states that where the coyote population is bad, they'll use an AR. So
That's right.
The coyotes are in packs, and they'll use an AR to take out as many as they can. But again,
pretty sure those people have Confederate flags in their house.
Who knows? But Pete's right. Let's get off this topic.
Let's get off this topic.
I'm always up for a good
debate. Habs Guru 21.
Pete's
member
100%
for 26
right.
months.
Wait, what?
Habs Guru. He's been a member for 26 months. Good for you. Buddy.
Hey, awesome.
Excellent,
wait a second. Why don't I see that?
Because you're white.
Shut up.
I'm racist.
I don't see that comment. Where do you see that? I see Guru.
Right below Jeremy Delaney's comment about the RA-15, which is actually an AR.
Well, I don't have it yet. Why don't I have that comment?
Because it doesn't want to come to you. It's scared of you.
That it is, Jeremy. The NFL draft is right around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I see all the other ones that I see those.
And I see my 49ers dominating the West again, Delaney.
Okay, I got a question for you. How the hell is talking about football better than talking about guns? You guys, come on.
Oh,
I can't. I don't know what's going on in football really right now. I can't really contribute.
Oh, football's great.
Well,
it's fantastic.
Well,
you just never
especially when you're a fan of the New England Patriots.
Might as well say that about soccer. I mean,
the 49ers.
Hey, the Niners get a special place, Marriott. I have a Joe Montana jersey hanging
No, look, we got to talk about something I can contribute to the conversation.
All right, we'll talk about the NBA.
All right, let's talk about porn and wrinkled dicks, and then Rick can contribute.
Speaking of porn, did anybody watch the movie about Pornhub?
The thing on Netflix now.
Yeah, the story of what happened, because they almost went under. I wanted to say they almost went down, but that would have been, I don't know, but there was just a joke there somewhere. Okay, something else then. I need to get rid of my Habs t-shirt. Why would I need to get rid of my Habs t-shirt? Like blasphemy. No, let's talk about, if you want to talk about a sport, let's talk about soccer.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about
me. There you go. Yeah. You were singing that before, weren't you?
Yep.
Let's talk about soccer. Anybody watch Ted Lasso? Does anybody watch Ted Lasso?
No.
No?
I watch actual soccer. I don't watch TV shows about soccer.
It's really good though. It's a really good show. And I don't care shit about soccer.
No, it is a good show.
But it's a really good show if you don't watch it. Did anybody see, because you're all Sopranos people, there's a new movie out about when he was a kid. Anybody see that?
It's been out like a year.
Okay, it just came up on where I get movies like that.
Many things to Newark. I saw it.
Yeah, you saw it? Was it good?
That
wasn't bad.
Usually means no, it's not that good.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. I mean, if for anyone who's seen The Sopranos, like hoping for like that quality, wasn't really there.
What is
you get the backstory of why Tony became Tony?
Is that I figured that's what it is.
It's all right. You know, it like I said, it wasn't what I
someone said JD
wanted. Like I was like I said, just from watching the show, I was expecting a higher quality. But it wasn't a bad film. Like
I saw a trailer for it as all.
I liked it. I thought some things could have been done better.
JD, that's what I do. I don't hunt. I'm sorry, Matt. I didn't mean. JD, did you want to come on with a link? Matt will send you a link if you want. I don't know what you said there. He says send a link. We has a Kohat. What's a Kohat?
Oh, I never.
Overall,
it's fine. I wish there was more Tony in it, but It is what it is.
Yeah, I just saw a teaser for it. So,
but I will give you. And I actually learned this after I saw the movie, and then the movie kind of made more sense. So his uncle is Dickie Moltisanti, right?
I never saw. I never saw all the Sopranos, so I don't know all those details.
Well, you know who Michael Imperioli's character was, Chris.
Yeah,
right?
okay, I know
Chris
who he is. Yeah.
So Chris's dad.
Okay.
Moltisanti translated to English means the many saints. So the many saints in Newark.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there's.
So when I found out that tidbit, I'm like, okay, this actually made more sense.
Okay, yeah, I get why the title.
But it's not bad. Give it a watch. Let me know what you think.
Probably not, since I didn't watch The Sopranos. I don't think I want to watch that. Although I'm looking for stuff to watch. If anybody's got good, I mean, we can talk about that.
Well, you were talking about Pornhub. Watch stuff on Pornhub.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, 5 minutes later, you got to find something else to watch.
Takes you that long?
Oh, okay. I was being generous. God, leave me alone. I'm American, right?
At your age?
I'm American. I'm a descendant from the Minutemen.
He did indeed.
He did indeed. Matt, did you send him a link?
I'm trying to find it.
Find the link?
Yeah, I figured out.
You just go to edit. You should have that. Like I do. Go to the edit.
Oh yeah, edit. Got it.
And then you can copy the link. Although it's on the bottom there. Invite. No, go to the bottom. It says invite. You must have that. You got the same controls I have.
I don't have any control.
No, you don't have controls. No, I'm going to check into that, by the way. I know that we're on air here, but I don't know if I can give you the same thing as Matt or not. But if I can, then I don't have to send you all the invites. You can just come in like he does.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm allowed to do more than one person like that. So I'll find out, though. At Glory Menu Night. That's what he wrote there.
Yeah, he's trying to say Glory Man United.
Glory is Man United.
Oh,
that's our favorite soccer team. That me and
see, now I know some of the soccer teams because of Ted Lasso.
Man United is a beaut.
No, I know, but I know some of the other soccer teams because of Ted Lasso because it's not a ton about soccer, but it's a really good show. Matt, I know Matt knows soccer, JD. I know you guys talked about it all the time. I don't think Pete's in the
soccer, college football, regular football.
I love soccer. I used to coach soccer, for Christ's sake.
Oh.
I coached soccer for my niece from the age of 12 to U18.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not a big soccer guy.
Love it.
I didn't watch Ted Lasso the first 2 seasons, even though I heard it's great show. And that's soccer. And then I had nothing to watch, so I said, I'll check it out. I didn't stop. I think it was done the whole season. It's like, I just went to watch one episode and I watched the whole season. It's like, it's a good show.
I think Kirsten and I are going to start watching that in the next little bit here.
Definitely worth it. You'll like it. It's a really, really good show.
You guys figured out how to get Delaney on or what? Should I just forward him my email?
Forward the link you have. It'll work. You can send him the link you have, Pete. It'll work. It's fine.
Okay.
I sent it to him as well.
Oh, okay. So he should have it. He's gonna come in on his phone. He always was on his phone, so
yeah.
He just needs it.
He's always on his phone. He's always trembling.
No, but I mean, he just needs it texted to him. He doesn't need an email. He just needs a text with the link. Now you guys use your phone all the time, so I figured you guys easy to do that.
Let's see if I got him in my texts here.
Well, Matt said he sent it, so
I did.
He should.
I sent it on email, JD.
He should pop in any minute now. And we can go another half hour if we want. I'm good. Just don't know what's going on. All right, in the chat, talk to us. What you guys want to talk about? I don't have anything. I really don't have anything to talk about. that I can't think of anyway.
Every time you say that, you make me sing it, you bloody bastard guy.
What's that?
Let's talk about. What do you guys want to talk about? Now I got to do the big.
Let's talk about sex, baby. I don't think anybody wants to hear me talk about sex. I really don't.
Let me think about that for a minute.
No, you don't. You don't really. If you do, call 1-976.
I'm just thinking it would probably be a very quick conversation.
There he is.
JD.
Big sexy himself in the flesh.
What are you doing, strangers?
Look at that pretty boy.
How's it going, man?
With all the bands and stuff talking about TikTok, they blocked YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everything at work. So where I work nights, I haven't been on to chat much because I can't get on YouTube.
Wow. Why'd they do that?
Good question. Government.
To block. I didn't hear. I did not hear about that happening at all. That's kind of horrible.
Yep. At least with the school board, I think YouTube mostly because of the kids. Because the kids.
TikTok because of the
TikTok
kids.
As well because of the kids. Snapchat because of the kids.
I guess they wanted them to focus on school. I guess.
Facebook, I blame the staff.
I don't go. I rarely go on Facebook anymore. I don't like Facebook. I don't like Twitter anymore either, but it helps for what I do.
You guys were talking about drinking, so I poured up a little sipper of Johnny Walker 15 Scotch.
Nice.
And for you, Nick, this is my new bowl, my new sports spoken bowl.
Awesome, man. That's pretty cool. I'm not big on those kind of pipes, but that's pretty cool. Healthier than what I do.
Nice. Nice choice.
So what do we talk about here? It's like a reunion.
I'm so glad this dumpster fire of a season is done.
Oh, come on. It wasn't a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Under Ducharme, it was a dumpster fire. But come on.
We finished fifth overall, fifth last. We can't get number one.
No, wait a second. Well, no, that's not true. We could win the lottery.
I thought it was only the top three or whatever could actually win it.
No, from 11, top 11 because
10 spots.
Top 11.
We could win the draft lottery from 5.
Yeah, all the teams that don't make the playoffs can win, but only the top 11 can move into first spot.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you. You talk about football draft coming up, and tying it in with the hockey draft. This is the one thing I hate about the hockey draft. For a team like Montreal, I've been saying this now for the last few months. Right now, Seattle has 2 picks in the first round. They could have packaged those and a third rounder and got the first overall pick, no matter how good that quarterback is going to be that goes number one, either Stroud or, I think it should be Stroud. But in the NHL, with those 2 first-round picks, next year's first-round pick, and a couple of the prospect kids that we may not have room for. That was a good point you guys were making. We have so many kids and not enough spots.
Right.
So we are going to have to make some of those moves. And it's just so frustrating because Montreal are in a situation to be able to offer a team almost anything to get any type of player. And there's no way we could get that number one pick this year, no matter what we offer.
Okay, but JD, if you're the GM of the team that's got that pick, right? Are you giving that away? Are you trading that away, really?
But Rick, with the comment that Jeremy's making, yeah, like think about it. If you could get Bedard and give up, 2 picks in the first round this year, a pick next year, and a pick following year, you get 4 first-round picks for 1 pick.
Yep. And here's another thing, Pete. Yes. Connor or Rick, you are absolutely right. Connor Bedard is a generational talent. Yeah. So is McDavid. No rings. And he's got Drysdale with him. Austin Matthews and Mitchie and all the boys in Toronto, they got no rings.
It's still not going to change the fact that he's going to go first.
One player on a team sport like hockey is not enough.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
San Jose, maybe Anaheim could do something with it. If Montreal don't get him, I'd like to see him go to at least the hockey market in Chicago.
But listen, Montreal's got, yes, they got the extra pieces and all that, but if they do get him, if you give up some of those pieces, you might really be hindering yourself. Like if you're at that point where you get a Connor Bedard, that makes a difference. It speeds up your rebuild big time. And like, you can't give up a ton and make holes elsewhere. Because like you say, McDavid's not enough. Matthews is not enough. You need that group around him.
Well, exactly. So at least with Anaheim, you got Seagrass. But, I mean, Edmonton has had so many first-round picks. Phoenix has been there. Columbus has been there. The three of those teams alone have been in the top five pretty much the last 10 years and still can't get it right.
Yep.
And Columbus or
Columbus pairing Bedard with Johnny Hockey though would be a sight to behold.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like that would be pretty fun to watch.
Well, let me ask you something, JD. If this is not kind of what you're saying, if Montreal uses what they've got, their picks and all that right, and they draft well, you don't need that first overall pick. You don't need the Connor Bedard, because if you look at some of the every draft year. In that top 10 that goes, there's usually somewhere in the middle or whatever is the best player in the draft. It probably won't happen this year, but maybe the third best player could be the guy we get.
But you know what, Rick, though, honestly, that's Montreal drafts better in the second, third, and fourth round than they do in the first anyway. So I'd sooner them trade.
We probably had the best second round in the draft friggin' last year with nailing Jack and Lane Hudson. Holy shit.
But this makes a point of why it's not necessary to trade up to that first or second pick. It's not necessary.
With the two lines that you guys were talking about, even without PLD, I still love our top two lines. Somebody like Connor Bedard, and you take one of those guys and you move to the third line, and you go get yourself a goaltender.
Yeah, it's
you guys. Montreal goes next year automatically to being a cup contender in my eyes.
I think you're exaggerating by a year. I think you're exaggerating by a year, but I think you speed that up by a year there at least, right? Like I agree with you.
A cup contender next year, Jeremy, but
not next year, but you'd be a playoff contender.
Following?
Oh yeah, no. Regardless, I don't see them being much better next year without somebody like Bedard.
And they won't. And no, listen, you're right. They won't. They'll be a little better, but they're not going to be a playoff contender. The team doesn't even think so. You know, they think it's 2-3 years away. But I think if you get Bedard or Fantilli, you move that up a bit.
See, JD, what's got to happen here is we need to get rid of the dead weight before we can start moving forward.
Of course.
And once we get rid of that dead weight,
honestly, Pete, you're right. If you're over 25 right now, I would pretty much, and you're not on the first two lines, bye-bye. Yeah. You guys were talking about, like, if you're going to bring in Pierre-Luc Dubois, I have no doubt that Jack-Eye is going to, Winnipeg want Jack-Eye.
And I'm not willing to give that.
I'm not giving up Jack-Eye. I would give Winnipeg Josh Anderson.
In a heartbeat. As much as I love this boy, Andy, I honestly think Pierre-Luc Dubois would be an upgrade. Less,
Andy, well, I mean, okay, listen, but and I'm not calling you dumb, but I mean, duh, he's going to be an upgrade. He's definitely producing a lot more and all that. So yeah, but Andy brings other things that I don't think Dubois does. That leadership, there's some things that he brings. Although the physical side, I mean, yeah.
But,
I don't know. He brings a lot bigger price tag.
He does have leadership, but the guy with the C, that's your main leader, and that being Suzuki.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Which I hope that he doesn't have that Habs captain curse there and get shipped over the next couple of years to make room.
I really don't think so. I know what you're saying. I do too. I don't think this management group's going to do that.
I don't think.
I really hope so too. That's
soon.
The manager.
I have no doubt after this year that Bergevin would have done something stupid and trying to shop Suzuki.
Yeah, there's possibilities there, but listen, the guys that we're talking about right now, and a lot of the prospects that are starting to come up, that is Bergevin's work. They started to get it right. They started to get it right in the last 2-3 seasons.
I like I said earlier, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team moving forward. So honestly, I just like to see all of these kids, just bring them all up.
Yeah, next year. Who do you think's coming up next year? The rookies.
I love Owen Beck making the team next year. I think he just impresses me. I like to see Logan Mailloux get a shot, but I really believe that they're going to allow him to go to the AHL and go, now let's see how you do for a year, and they'll assess his behavior and all of that. But that kid, from what I've seen, and a buddy of mine or my cousin, he went out and checked out a few of his games, and he's like, the kid's good.
Oh, there's no doubt. I'm not saying the kid's not good. I'm not saying that at all. I just think there's some aspects of the game that he might benefit from another year in Laval, in London, because he lost 2 years in development. That's all. It's not to say that, sure, he could make the jump to the AHL. I believe he can too.
I'd almost rather go. I would like to see him either then go to definitely not the KHL because fuck Russia, but
nobody North Americans going there.
I would like to see him play in Switzerland. I want to see him play against older guys and not kids his own age and junior. I don't think being a junior next year would be good for the kids' development.
Talking about
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to Europe. He got in trouble over there, so I don't think he's going there.
It was the Swedish league, right?
He's got to play with
the what?
Better
it was the Swedish league he got in trouble. That or the Finnish.
Yeah. That I think he was in Sweden. Yeah, that's where he got in trouble. I don't think he's going back there. No, listen. You know what? I just have this feeling that he's going to go back to London, but I totally agree with what your guys are saying. I'm not arguing that really. And I think he could end up in the AHL. I just have this feeling. I don't know how else to describe it. So am I always right? No.
But the thing is, though, I've never been excited like this for the kids. Like Lane Hudson or Hudson or Hudson? Hudson, right.
Yeah.
He's
going to be in college, though, I think, the 4 years. He's going to be there at least 2 more. Maybe 3.
But then again,
if he does what he did this season again, he might sign a ZLC after next year.
Yep.
Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think so, but maybe. I could be wrong.
But that's the thing, Rick. Like Matt, you guys were saying earlier, there is no room for the kid right now anyway.
There isn't. That's one of the reasons why I think he stays the 4 years.
And one benefit when we actually do have room for these guys, possibly after next season, we like Peter was saying, let's ship out some of the older guys, make room for the kids, and we got like 2-3 years then with rookie contracts.
Yeah, that's the way to manage the cap. It's one of the ways to help manage the cap because they're not going to be able to get rid of Gallagher. I mean, they're not. You got to face it. Gallagher's here for the rest of that contract.
No, excuse me. Just getting over a head cold. One thing that the Habs do not have, and I'm sorry, I really don't think anyone actually believes Sammy Montembeault is the guy moving forward.
Yeah, well, I was just about to ask you that, but you're actually you got 3 guys here that do believe that. I wanted to ask you what you think of Monty.
Not the guy, but I think he's certainly part of the tandem.
He's a 1A.
He would be a dandy backup.
I don't think Monty is more than a backup. I disagree. Monty's more than a backup, in my opinion.
Hang on.
He did play better this year than he did last year.
JD, hear me out, buddy. Right now, with the goaltending situation that we have,
best option.
He's our 1A, and Allen's
absolutely
our 1B, right? And moving forward with that, if we still are able to retain Allen next year, Monty is going to be the 1A, and Allen will be the 1B.
That I agree with, yeah.
But if we don't retain Monty and we bring in somebody else that has got a better all-round game, then maybe Monty steps down and learns from the veteran that's coming ahead of him. But I don't think we're going to do that.
No.
Honestly, I think, I honestly think that they're going to try to keep Allen around. And
solid number 2 right now.
Yeah, Primo's not ready.
I don't think Primo's the answer. For the next couple of years, I am absolutely actually kind of in agreement that Sammy is good enough, because I don't see this team this upcoming season and possibly the season after that being seriously in the playoffs.
No.
I still think they have some work.
This is all learning for them.
I would like them with the 20th pick, especially because I think there's only a couple of good goalies, and I don't know if many people are going to grab one before the Habs pick with Florida's pick. I would like them to excuse me. I'd like to see them grab a goalie with their second first-round pick this year and get a good stud goalie in the system that we don't need for a couple of years, because I just can't see Caden Primo being a starter or maybe even a backup.
Right, depending on how he plays in the ball.
I don't know about that. I see. I don't agree. I think Monty.
JD, how do you feel about Jacob Dobas?
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not entirely sure about him. I'm so sketchy on goalies lately. I only believe there's only like 3 or 4 solid goaltenders that I actually trust. Everybody else just seems to be, okay, I'm good for these 2 years, and then I suck. Like you take Jordan Binningham, he won a cup, or Jonathan Jordan Binningham, right? It's Jordan.
Yeah, I don't like him. He's
he won a cup in like the last year or so. He has been horrible. Like St. Louis wanted to get rid of him, and there's just so many other goalies like that. But outside of the guy on the Rangers, who's apparently taking the reins from Lundqvist as going to be the guy. The Islanders got 2. I like the Islanders, both of the Islanders goaltenders, though. That's the working kid. I think if they put a team in front of him, he could be a quality number 1.
Yeah, I mean, was it Matt that was saying he thinks Sorokin could kind of steal a couple of games in the first round against Boston? I think so.
Sorokin could be very
solid goaltender.
Florida lost, so it'll be Florida, Boston. It'll be the Islanders, and the Hurricanes, Rangers, Devils, and
my friend DJ said it best, and he's a Bruins fan. Like, he's loving Ullmark, but he knows that next year he's probably going to be garbage. Like, he has zero faith in him. Like, he's hot this year and putting up great numbers, but as fate-wise go, none. There's so few goaltenders that seem to.
What's wrong with Ullmark?
He's having a great year, but like you said, he wasn't that solid the year before.
But he was with Buffalo, wasn't he? He was with Buffalo.
But I also think next year the Bruins are going to take a step back because they're only going to have like $8 million in cap, and they're going to have to sign like a bazillion players. I think they're only going to. The defense will be still on the books. They're fine there. Swayman's going to need an extension, and I think they got like 10 forwards that they're going to lose like 10 forwards off the book.
Matt, at the beginning of the season, I had them no better than 3rd. I did just because Montreal was going to be bad. I knew Ottawa was going to be better, but not great. I didn't Buffalo. Florida maybe, but like Boston on paper compared to Tampa and even Toronto, in my opinion,
yeah, I thought
we're not that. And then all of a sudden they.
Yeah.
Like Tampa Bay this year, I knew they were going to be good, but I didn't expect the Devil Rays to be 13-0 at the beginning of the baseball season either.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel about Boston.
Yeah, Boston I thought would drop out of the race for the playoffs, and
it's
not happening.
Now that the season is pretty much done, it all goes to show you just how critical a really, really good coach is. And I've been singing the praises of Montgomery for I don't know how long, and look at what he's done with Boston. He's a fantastic coach. He knows what he knows what he's doing.
Seems like he does. I only remember him because didn't we get Montgomery when they traded Carbo to St. Louis? So I remember him for that, and I kind of didn't like him.
Did Montgomery?
Yeah, didn't when they traded Carbo?
I believe Montreal actually drafted him.
He's from Montreal. That I know. I don't know if they might have drafted him and traded him before he ever played. But when they traded Carbo to St. Louis, I'm pretty sure.
I think he was a part of the package.
Jim Montgomery came back the other way.
Yeah.
No, you're very possibly right there.
I'm pretty sure I am.
Like all you got to do is you got to look at what Montgomery did in Dallas before he got booted out of there, and now look at what he's done in Boston in 1 year. Like,
well, think about that. They let Bruce Cassidy go, he had that team going pretty good, and they brought in Montgomery, and I was like, oh, this is gonna ruin them. But Montgomery has to be a good coach because, I mean, they made that switch for a reason. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, he gets the best out of everybody.
I didn't know much about him as a coach.
It's obviously his system too that he's got involved in the hockey world, because I have never seen a bunch of guys team together and play together the way that Boston is playing, like right down to goaltenders. Like the goaltenders are best.
I'm sorry. Somebody changed my name to Big Sexy, and I just fucking caught it.
Yeah, no worries. I saw it too not too long ago. I thought it was funny too. I just wanted to answer Guru. Guru, I think next season is the last season for Julian, or this was. I'm not sure, but we're really close to being off the books from him. So I'm not sure though.
We're still paying the coach?
Julian, because didn't he sign like a 3-year contract and then they fired him?
Yeah.
So I think this is the last season, but it might be next season.
And we're still paying.
And they're still paying Ducharme.
The last couple of months, I've been listening to a lot of off-season NFL talk because the season's done, and they're talking about like, oh, this much guaranteed, and so and so forth. And I was like, right, not all sports don't have those clauses where you can get out. They're all like pretty much guaranteed contracts.
Yeah, I think it's just isn't it just football that doesn't have that? The guaranteed contracts?
No, I'm pretty sure the NFL is the only one that don't. Like, you can sign a quarterback for 3 years and then buy him out, and he doesn't go against your books or anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. The NFL is the only one that does not have guaranteed contracts. I think.
Yes, you're right.
It's the only major sport that doesn't have it. So, like, you could be making great money, and then all of a sudden, nope, contract's gone.
You know what's awesome? Like, no one ever talks about it. Like, they talked about getting rid of the Redskins and the Cleveland Indians name and stuff. Speaking of which, both went with horrible rebranding names. If you had a chance to rebrand, you went with the Guardians and the Commanders.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they just sold. By the way, the Commanders just sold for $6 billion.
What mine and Matt's team right now are going to be soon doing the off-season transfer, where our club, the Manchester United Red Devils, will buy people like slaves for cash.
Especially if the Glazers sell the fucking club.
Isn't there a sheik that's trying to buy Man U? Isn't there a sheik that's trying to buy it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why they buy and sell people, dude.
But it makes sense because the transfer market, that's all it is. It's like you go out and give this soccer club this much money for their player. It's not like you trade people. You literally give them money.
Well, the NHL, they used to do that. If you go back a long time, they used to literally do that. They stopped doing it. I don't remember when, but I think up until like the 50s, you literally could do that. You buy a guy for cash.
I mean, that you can do it in baseball too. It's like, how many times have you seen a player get traded for future considerations in cash?
Yeah, but the NHL stopped doing that. I think in the 50s they stopped doing that.
I don't know. It's just every time I hear it, it's just like there's something dirty about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, it's like slavery. But I mean, they're not indentured to the people like slavery, but it's kind of like it, right? So, yeah,
well,
that's why the NHL stopped.
They tell you what you can eat, when you got to train, what time bed is, shaka. But yeah, no, athletes are technically legal slaves, in my opinion, because you got to train. There's so much you got to do. Then you got to do mandatory press and.
That's different, yeah. But I mean, just if you think of it that way, with the players when they come in, they're restricted for a few. It's kind. I mean, it's kind of like that. They can't move. They can't. So for a little while, everybody that comes into the league, kind of like a slave. They can't. They have no choice really to do anything except
we all contract slaves, boys. We all slaves.
Well, we are.
Yep. If you don't sign the paycheck, you're a slave.
No, I mean, if you're not indentured to the government, what else are we? We're all, I mean, that's the truth, right? Although we're not supposed to talk politics.
Nope.
Keep Rick off the politics.
Too is like soccer players make a ridiculous friggin' amount of money.
And they say they were well-paid slaves.
Are like the top stars.
They're well-paid, yeah. That's why they do it.
$40,000 a week.
No, it's crazy the money they get. I mean, it's just crazy.
I think Ronaldo, the deal he signed in Saudi Arabia, he's making like $90 million a year to play soccer.
That's just. I mean, that's.
See you, Christian.
It's crazy that kind of.
It's ridiculous.
No, it's crazy. But the sad thing is. This is actually a hockey topic. One thing I heard about maybe 2.5 months ago outside of Steven Smith, so F that guy, hockey is a real sport. Oh my God, Matt. I meant to talk when we were chatting there a couple of weeks back. I wanted to ask you, man, what the hell's going on with the ratings in the States? How did hockey slip behind soccer? Like, not even the English Premier League, but that dog shit league that we have here in North America, the MLS. How is the NHL not getting more viewers in the States?
I can answer that, I think.
Actually, I think it's because hockey's on ESPN and ESPN doesn't push it as much as they should.
No, this is the answer. What I think. Okay, think about when you're a parent and you got kids and you want to put them in sports. Hockey is expensive, but you know what's not expensive to put your kids into? Soccer. So you've got a generation or two of kids that have been put in soccer instead of the NHL, in hockey and other sports, and that's why I think in North America, soccer's made such a big. There's a big rise in it because so many kids have played it and they're into it. Playing hockey, if you're a parent, hockey's expensive.
Until Tiger Woods got hurt, golf was doing more ratings than hockey, and golf equipment and golfing for kids is expensive.
Well, okay, but it's not like hockey. Hockey's really expensive. It really is. You got all the equipment, you got the fees, and then if they travel to tournaments and all that, you're paying for all that shit.
Rick, I thought 12-year-old basketball would be cheap.
See, it's not, right?
None of it's effing cheap, man.
No, but soccer is relatively cheap. I put my kids in soccer back then because it was the cheapest thing. I could afford it.
It is still the most affordable.
Yeah.
Dudes, I got both my girls involved in school lacrosse, and it's an arm and a leg.
And yeah, I know it's crazy for any sport. It's crazy now, but I mean, soccer is the cheapest one. So you're seeing just the ratings for soccer grow in North America because there's a lot more people that have played it and love the game than when I was young.
If it was the Premier League, I'd understand, but the MLS,
Well, that's the Canadian League.
But another thing too, I wouldn't if I'm ESPN, like Pat McAfee said it. He's like, if I'm ESPN, why am I allowing Steve Smith to run his mouth about a product that we're supposed to be trying to sell?
And he doesn't know anything about it. And Stephen A. Smith knows nothing about hockey.
And he doesn't want to.
He doesn't. It's clear that
Stephen
he doesn't.
Smith was on my on the Flagrant 2 podcast. Speaking of Flagrant 2, and he even said, he goes, I told him, I don't want to talk about that white man shit. And
that's it. Yeah, he doesn't. I've heard him talk about it a little bit, but no, he doesn't want to know anything about hockey.
One of the guests said that the Rangers were going to be the best chance that New York has to win a major sport, and he's like, hockey ain't a real sport. I'm just like, I wanted to fight him. I felt like anybody watching it from Canada and the smart people down south were just like, yeah, let's go, Stephen A.
Yeah, he'd have trouble if he came here.
Ethan, I'd love to see you go down and talk to him, Boris Leo. You can represent Canada.
Yeah, they're idiots.
Go down and see Matt. Matt's in New England. New York's just next door. He'll lead you down there.
They know hockey.
ESPN's in Connecticut.
They know hockey.
ESPN headquarters is only like a 3.5 hour drive from my house.
Okay, no, but I thought Stephen A. Smith's show was in a studio in New York, though.
I don't know.
Probably is. No, I think you're right.
Are in Connecticut, in Stamford.
I think he's in his own. No, but you can do shows for any network anywhere. You don't have to be.
They have another They have another building in California, but Connecticut's the main one.
Right, yeah, it's because I remember that because it was them WWE were in Connecticut. We were like, why Connecticut?
They're close to each other too, which is kind of funny. They're both in Stamford.
Okay, can I interrupt here? JD, can you hang around a little bit? We're gonna stop the show, but can you hang around? We'll talk still.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna end the show. So listen, this is the last post game show of the season. We'll be back I know there's not a lot of people here, but we'll be back for a lot more shows. The Wednesday and Saturday show, they don't change, and we're going to add some more stuff. So thanks everybody who's here still. Thanks everybody who was here all season. I'm going to miss this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to miss the schedule of the regular games, and doing the games is kind of sad. It's my third season, I think, full time of doing the games, and it's at the end. So, thank you, everybody. I'm going to take off now, but we'll see you in a few days because Saturday show is going to be on. So, till then, stay safe.
And once again, Rick, before you go, thanks for having me on today. It's been great seeing you guys.
My pleasure. We've been wanting to have you on for the longest time. So
it's been crazy with the basketball and stuff, but yeah, we'll talk offline. You clue up there, Rick.
Yeah, we'll talk right after. So we're gonna take off. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. And the season's over. What are you gonna do? All right, that's it. Have a good night.
Bye everybody.
Thanks for being here. Ciao, everybody.